I bow to all of you who are seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. You cannot organize truth. You cannot conceptualize it. Unfortunately, you cannot know truth at human awareness. Whatever I am going to tell you today, you need not accept it blindly. But you must have an open mind, like a scientist. And if I am putting forward before you a hypothesis, if it works, then you have to accept it as honest people. The truth is extremely simple, that you are not only this body, this mind, this ego, these conditionings, but you are the spirit. You are the divinity. And the second one is that there is an all-pervading power of divine love, which is doing all living work. For example, we take these beautiful flowers for granted. How a simple seed has created these beautiful flowers. We never even think about it. Even we don't think how we have been evolved from an amoeba stage to human level. There are so many things we do not think about. And there are so many things which cannot be explained to us even by science. I think only 25% things can be explained, whichever are very obvious. But the science cannot tell us how the periodic law has been constructed by which intelligent creator that has put all elements in such a beautiful manner, which also indicates what new elements we are going to discover. In a human body, any foreign material that goes, it has to be thrown out. That's the nature of the human body. But when a child is conceived, it's not thrown out. It's all there. It's tenderly looked after, is kept, nourished, and at the right time, it comes out of the body of the mother. So it is to be understood that living processes we have not been able to explain, nor did we ever think about it. I am talking to you about the living process of our evolution. Human beings are at the epitome of evolution. No animal, no creature, which they say exists here and there, maybe just a conjecture, is higher than human beings. Moreover, it's the only human beings who have got freedom. If they want, they can go to hell, or if they want, they can go to heaven. Now, at this time, when we call it a Kali Yuga, these modern times are already described as one of the worst times of darkness and ignorance. And people will be in lots of illusions. At these horrible times when we see all other shocking things happening in our lives, in our countries, in the whole world, then we start wondering who is responsible for all these problems. If we are a little humble, we'll find it's we, the human beings. We have gone wrong. This has been something wrong within us that we have brought forth all these problems upon ourselves. They may be individual or they may be collective. They may be national, could be international. So to solve these problems, supposing because of certain machinery, something goes wrong, then what do we do is to attend to that machinery. So what we need is a transformation. And the time has come for us to achieve that transformation, which is described in all the scriptures. In the Bible, it is described as the second birth. Even in the Hindu scripture, it's described as the Brahmagyan, or you can call it again the second birth, Dvijaha. It is described in the Quran, is described in all the Buddha's teachings, described by Mahavira, is described by Nanaka, by all the religious people, even Confucius has talked about it. Lao Tse has talked about it. Now what is that second birth is? Second birth is not just getting another certificate, we are this, we are that, we are that. We believe that we are Christians, we are Hindus, we are Muslims, we are this, we are that. Everybody thinks no end of themselves. If you ask a Jew, he'll say the Christians are the doomed ones. They will go to hell directly, as if God has told them very clearly that Christians are going to be doomed forever. If you are the Christians, they'll say the same about the Muslims or the Jews, and the Muslims will say about the Hindus, and Hindus will say about the Muslims. But any one of them is capable of committing any sin. Nobody is bound by anything. The religion is not innately built within themselves, as so many things are built within us in our evolution, like if you want a dog to go through a dirty, filthy place, he can go. But a human being cannot go, because it's built in within him, in the evolutionary process, that sensitivity to filth and dirt. But we have got the freedom. The freedom is given because ultimately you have to have a full freedom. So by using this little freedom, you will be able to know what is right and what is wrong. But it is not so, because we live in a relative world. Some people say this is right, some people say that is right. We are running from one place to another and find the story is the same for all of them. People are so much in tension, so much in trouble. What is the reason for all these troubles is that we are all sitting in darkness. Supposing there's complete darkness, you cannot see anything, and you want to grab something, you grab a snake. And somebody says there's a snake in your hand. You won't give it up till it bites you. But if there is little light, you just give it up. So what you need is the light of the Spirit within you. It has to shine in your attention. So he has already told you about these centers that are within you, these subtle centers that are within you. And this Kundalini, which is your mother. Everybody has an individual mother, and she's the one who gives you your realization. It happens in a very short time. A great saint called Ramadasa, who was the master of one great king, Shivaji, was asked, how much time does it take for a Kundalini to rise? So he said, Tat Kshana, means that moment. But there should be a giver and there should be a receiver. Today I find in this world there are so many people who are seeking truth. They are not satisfied with whatever minimum they know of spirituality. But they think that there is something beyond, must be there. We must find it out. And the search is going on, which I told you before also in other places, that William Blake has clearly said, very clearly, he was a great saint who was regarded as madman in his days and later on also. But he said that men of God will find God and they will make others godly. That is the time today. This is the time of your last judgment. God is not going to put you onto any weighing scale. This Kundalini is going to tell you, where are you wrong? What are your problems? What are the centers which are in trouble? And once she tells you that, if you know how to correct it, you are forgiven and you are perfectly all right, and you find that everything that is your being is working so well. And ultimately, you are surprised to see that you become a divine computer. Because when she passes through these centers are like left and right, as you have seen the left and right, two sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic in the center. So when you are using this right too much or left too much, they move like this. But supposing something happens in the left and it breaks with a shock, then these cells have no control, are never controlled by your brain because the connection is broken. And it starts working on its own. The cell starts working on its own. That means they become arbitrary, they become malignant. That's how you develop cancer. All psychosomatic troubles come by that. Now, the simple thing happens with Kundalini. She's just waiting for you to ask for your realization. That's all. Because she is the power of pure desire. And the pure desire within you, whether you know it or not, is to get your self-realization. So when she rises, she passes through these centers. She goes into this one and then into this one, pierces through both of them, brings them back to the normal, nourishes them, and then pierces through this fontanelle bone area, which is a soft bone in your childhood. This is the actualization of baptism. Is not just putting somebody the hand, like William Blake has said, that a priest cursed my fontanelle. Actually, you have to get it. So this is the last breakthrough when we become superhuman being, or we can call, we become godly, we become divine, that we touch our divinity. Now, people talk of God, they'll go to church, they go to temple, they go to mosque, but they don't know how powerful God is, how miraculous He is, how He looks after us, how He guides us, and how He can empower us. But when you get your self-realization, that is, when this Kundalini crosses over, the first thing that happens to you, that you become thoughtlessly aware, nirvichar samadhi. That is, you are aware, but there is no thought. Now see, there's a nice carpet before me. I'm watching it, just watching it. But normally, I would say, all right, how much is this must have cost? I must buy one like that, or I might start thinking. I mean, I'll always react. I'll say, all right, this carpet, if it is mine, then it's greater headache. I have not yet insured it. God knows in this public place what will happen to my carpet. All kinds of worries can enter into my head if I possess it. But supposing I have a capacity just to watch it and not to react, then what will happen? All the joy that the man who created these has put into it starts as an abstract, peaceful flow of joy. Just enjoy. Not to think, not to react. just to enjoy. Because one reaches the essence of that creation, which is joy. It's like a lake which is absolutely calm, rippleless, and all the surroundings, the beautiful creation, completely reflected in that beautiful still lake, is what happens to a person who becomes thoughtlessly aware, and then he grows in that state. It's a state. It is no certificate, it's a state where you start growing in that state spiritually till you reach the ocean of your divinity which is within you already. Then you are completely relaxed. You are just watching the whole drama. You are the witness. Like we are seeing some play or some picture or film, we start getting excited, oh God, what's going to happen to this? Then suddenly the film is over, we say, oh, it was a film, it was just a drama. In the same way we feel, that's just a drama. You do not get involved into it. Another way I can explain to you that those people who are in the water are afraid of the waves. But supposing you get into the boat, another state, then you can see those waves. You can enjoy them. But supposing you become a swimmer, then you can jump into that. You can jump into the water and you can save others. This is what into 3 stages you move in Sahaja Yoga. First you become thoughtlessly aware. Then the second stage, what we call, is doubtlessly aware, where you have no doubts about yourself. You know you have the power. You know you can work it out. You know everything about it. Everyone knows the same thing. You know the absolute truth. Then you know this is the truth and everybody knows the same truth. You put 10 children, cover their eyes, and put a gentleman before. Ask, what's wrong with this person? They'll all say, here. You ask the gentleman, have you got problem with your throat? Yes, how do you know? Because they'll feel the same finger, all of them, burning. And this finger is then decoded as the center of Vishuddhi. All children will feel the same. So there is no question of argument. There's no question of discussion. Just enjoy each other. Because you know each other as you know your own body. You become part and parcel of the whole. So, the second state, when you become collectively conscious, absolutely collectively conscious, you know your own centers. That is the first state when we call Atma Bodha, means to know yourself on your central nervous system. And the second state is when you become doubtlessly aware, where you are collectively conscious. Absolutely conscious. You know what's wrong with another person. And then you become a Sahajayogi, where you know how to correct these centers within you and without. These are the only 3 stages which are very simple. People have achieved some of them overnight. Some have taken 8 days and some have taken a month. Of course, there are some who have taken even 2 years, I must say. But there is the problem is with these people that they still go on doubting themselves and they think that how can we get to this? How can I be divine? I'm such a nice person that I should lead a very happy life. Instead of that, why should I do these things? Or he thinks I'm a very bad person. How can I get this? It is inevitable. Everybody has to get it. Otherwise you can't exist in this world. It's an impossibility. Like first one fish came out of the water, crawling up. Then few more came. Then few more. But later on shoals of fishes came out. Of course there are still so many fishes at that stage. So these people who are seeking the truth are the only one who are going to receive. It cannot be forced on anyone because human freedom has to be respected. It is given with a special reason. Like when you go to school, they tell you 2 plus 2 is 4. But when you grow up, go to college, they tell you you are on your own, now find out yourself. Because later on, you have to be completely on your own. In the same way, at this stage you are given this freedom to choose in the glory of your freedom what right or wrong you think it to be. Through trial and error method, you know what is right and what is wrong. And once you get it, then it's so blissful, it's so miraculous, it's so beautiful that you enter into kingdom of God. It may sound very fantastic in these modern times when we cannot even think of God, we cannot even talk of God. But He exists. He's there. His power is there. We need not get upset with anything. We need not be frustrated. He has created us to be human beings, to enter into His kingdom, not to in any way left behind, struggling, but to give you all that is His wealth, His joy, His blessings. Today, being the first day, I'll be happy if you can ask me some questions, but I would request you one thing. I'm not here to take any money from you, nor am I interested in politics that I want to have any votes from you. It is for your emancipation. There is a built-in system within you, which works just like the sprouting of the seed. There's no obligation of mine on you. It's just one enlightened candle can enlighten another candle. You get your self-realization. So please don't ask me any question which is irrelevant. Like, what do you think of this person? What do you think of that person? What do you think of yourself? There's no need to ask, because whatever I tell you, why must you believe me? It's a blind faith. You must find it out. You have to find it out yourself. You have to certify yourself. You have to see for yourself that you have got this great blessing of being self-realized, by which you emancipate. Not only that, but you are capable of emancipating thousands, and thus this is the system by which there is the emancipation of the whole world will come forth. I hope you will ask me some questions, and then we'll have this process of self-realization, which will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes today. And tomorrow I'll be able to tell you what is the spirit and what the manifestation means to us. Thank you very much.
Questions? Says, if he's always working in love and kindness towards others, how long does it take him to reach heaven?
I told you that kshana, the moment, all right? Doesn't take that at all. It's just a little curtain that has to be lifted. We do not know how fantastic we are, really. Like if you take a little, say, a television set in a remote place in India, the villagers will never believe that this little box can show you all these pictures. But when it is put to the mains, they are amazed. It's all built in within you. Just you have to be put to the mains, that's all. It's all within you. It's too far away.
Why are we here in the first place?
Ask yourself, sir. You are here to get your self-realization. I hope so for that. I don't know why you're here yourself. That's your lookout. You mean on this earth? Did you mean it? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ah. We are on this earth to grow into a human state and then into the spirit state.
Is that it? Are we reborn again and again from lower states to the human state, and should we be less concerned with materialistic things?
Yes, you are born, no doubt. They say that you have to pass through 35 crores, will be August, 35, 350 million yonis, means the species. You have to pass through that to come to a human stage. Can you imagine? But what is the second question?
Should we be less materialistic and more inclined to things of Mother Nature?
You see, this is to say do this or do that is not going to work out because we have no balance. Whatever we want to do, we go to extremes, whatever one may say. So this is not going to work out. First of all, once your spirits start shining, then in that light you get the balance. And you know what is right and what is wrong. And in that balance, then you know how to behave. But if you say now, don't have materialism, all right. You say, all right, I give up everything, I wear those orange dresses and I'm not going to look at anything. But such a person, if you have to approach, go with a barge pole, because he has given up something, but he's accumulated a lot of anger and frustration and everything. So it's never natural to be like that. So to be naturally is to first of all be spirit, so that automatically you become a balanced personality.
It says, are there psychic powers associated with the chakras? And as the Kundalini rises, do we experience those powers?
No. You see, I must tell you that it's all being organized by a very great organizer, our Creator. And He has made the left and the right side. The left side is for our past, for all our subconscious mind, the collective subconscious. Everything that was the past is on our left side. Everything that is the future is on right side. And the central path is kept free for the Kundalini to rise. So the left side is the psyche, not in the, I think Freud was a half-baked person, he didn't understand the full, but the one he called as psyche is the left side. and the right side is your willpower or your action, the power of action. So the left side is the power of desire, and the right side is the power of action. So the right side caters to your future, to your physical and your mental being. So we have two sides, but the central path is kept absolutely free, folded again 3.5 coils. In the central one, from the absolutely the center channel is the one which first of all sucks in the Kundalini, which goes up and pierces through. Then gradually this folded channel opens out gradually, and more strands of this Kundalini rise. So it has nothing to do with your psychic powers and all that. Psychic powers you get like mesmerizing others, or we can say that possessing others, all sorts of left-sided problems. Right side also they have powers like Hitler had of dominating others, controlling others. All these are right-sided powers. These only you get if you move to the left or to the right. But in the center, you do not get any such thing. And if you get such powers, be careful, it's not proper. It's very wrong to use these powers, and it's also very wrong to be into that. One may get into any trouble if you go into these horrible type of psychic powers, and the modus operandi of that is not known. But the modus operandi of the Sahaja Yoga, of the rising of the Kundalini, everything you will know what it is, what is happening, how you are. It's nothing in the dark.
Does that mean that the center channel is free from action and the desire for action?
Not that. You see, itself, everything built in this Kundalini when she rises. She is the one who gives nourishment to both these channels. On the left-hand side, it gives for desire, the right desire, and it gives energy to the right side for action. So it acts also on these channels by nourishing them. Yeah. What's his name?
Is this process the same as the ascension that is talked about with Krishna and with Lord Jesus?
Absolutely. All of them are there, sitting on these centers. Gradually you will know where they are sitting. For example, Christ is sitting here on the optic chiasma inside the brain, and Krishna is sitting here. They are all there, and they all came on this earth as the leaders of our evolution, and they are all there. They are the ones who are looking after these centers. But all this I don't want to tell you because it will be quite shocking, One should be able to also bear the truth. If I tell this to Hindus, they'll run away. If I tell this to Christians, they'll run away. It's very difficult. They cannot imagine that Christ and Krishna are very closely related. What it is?
She wants to know on what level one is if one physically sees one's spirit leaving the body.
Oh, it's very wrong. Absolutely wrong. One should never see that. And one should not allow that to happen. It's a very dangerous thing. If you want, I can explain to you later on, but it's a left-sided attack. You see, in the collective subconscious, there are souls, dead souls, and they can attack you and take away your spirit. You must have heard about small little children being dead in their beds, you see, because the fashion is that the husband and wife do not keep the children in their room when they are young, and they keep them in another room. And then they just die. The reason is that these spirits, you see, they can take your spirit out and may never return it. That's a different subject altogether, which I'll deal with you, and it's quite a subtle subject which you'll understand, but it's a very wrong thing to indulge into such things. Absolutely. Why should you give your spirit to anyone? This body is the only way you can achieve realization. Hanging in the air, spirit cannot achieve. A soul which is not living cannot achieve realization. Anyway.
Why is there so much poverty and hunger in the world when there is enough for everybody? And why are people so negative and misuse their gifts?
I know that. That's again the imbalance, my child. That's imbalance. I know that concern I too have very much. And I feel that once you get into balance, you become not only balanced, but you become extremely dynamic as well as compassionate. You cannot help living alone like that because you become part and parcel of the whole. Like if this hand is hurt, immediately another hand comes to help it. In the same way, you just run to help each other. You become one. I should tell you that when I went to Russia first, 25 German Sahaja Yogis rushed to America. I was very much touched because I never expected them to come. I said, how is it you are all here? He said, don't you think, Mother, it's our responsibility? Don't you think we should have really done something for what our forefathers have done? With tears in their eyes. And they are so gentle, so kind, so much working hard with these Russians. I mean, they were something like angels, I tell you. So that's what happens to you, and your problem will be only solved when people will get to that state. What's it?
Is that correct?
What did they say?
What about the Tibetan Book of the Dead?
Forget it. All these nonsensical things, what has happened to Tibet, you know that. They are all using this black magic and things like that, and where are they today? Do you know that? You should go to Tibet to see what their situation is. Yeah.
When and how do you get one's self-realization?
Just now.
When did you get your self-realization?
I was born like this.
Why does God allow such things as the Holocaust? Doesn't that make him as guilty as the people who perpetrated?
No, not that. You see, God has sent his people here one after another. See, they sent Christ, he was crucified. They said Muhammad Sahib, he was poisoned. Everybody who came on this earth to tell them about it, to stop all this nonsense, they didn't even allow them to survive. See? And also you should know that there are many people who are after my life because I don't take any money. And it's a big problem because they think they have a business, a big business, and I'm just standing in the way. But there are still so many people who have come to receive their self-realization. So the time has come now, let's at least get it now. Whatever has happened has happened. It's a thing that they do not seek the truth. When they do not seek the truth, the evil sits on their heads.
What role does meditation play in the rising of the Kundalini?
You see, when the Kundalini rises, before that there is no talk of meditation. When the Kundalini rises, then you become thoughtlessly aware. That is meditative state. You do not do meditation, you get into meditation. We cannot do meditation. You have to be in that state. All right? You will see that. It will happen to you. I think now we should have the realizations there.
Earlier, I mentioned, Nirmala, that this has all taken place since 1970.
What?
The mass realization.
Ah.
I would like a little more information.
Yeah. I must tell you something very nice happened. I was in this hall long time back. And you know, this is the copy of a hall in America, which is in Harlem, which is occupied by black people. And one of the surgeons asked whether there is a call from Harlem, would you like to go there? I said, why not? They said, but it's dangerous. I said, why? I'm quite black. There's nothing to worry about. And Christ was also not white, for your information. So there's no harm in my going there. Nobody's going to do anything to me. And when I went there, I saw exactly the same thing there. I was amazed. And they had a photograph of mine, really, taken here in this hall. And when I came back here, I just thought of the same thing. Imagine such a beautiful thing they had there. And all these people who came were so beautiful. And the man who compared me was such a beautiful man. And they all got their realization. So it just reminded me of those days when I was there. I'll be again going there. I'll tell them I visited this hall. Some seems to be something special. They were quite proud that I have been to this hall and all that. And the hall is actually in America. It was built much earlier, but this is a reproduction. does it say?
Does the Holy Mother love all the people of Tibet, whether they are good or whether they are bad?
What there?
Tibet?
Ah.
Does the all the Himalayan peoples, does the Holy Mother love them all?
Oh, of course. I've been there all over. I've been to Nepal, I've been there. They all love me very much. But what can they do? They are misled and they are in trouble. I know all about them. I love all of them. My son-in-law has written a beautiful book on Himalayas. If you want, they'll give you one. My daughter has done the writing part. So you'll be happy to know I have great love for Himalayas. And there he has suggested that Himalaya is the Sostrara, is the last center. All right. May God bless. Already you can feel the love flowing. Now, we have to take help from this Mother Earth. So I would request you to take out your shoes. Just your shoes, please, if you don't mind. It's just a little bit. In the sense that you are not to feel guilty at all. If you feel guilty, you will find later on the center on the left-hand side here catches very badly. And when it catches, you get diseases like angina, lethargic organs, also spondylitis. So please do not feel guilty for anything at all. After all, you are human beings, and if you make mistakes, it's all right. Because this divine power is the ocean of forgiveness, and it can forgive everything. So please do not feel guilty. It's very important. If you are feeling guilty at the time of realization, this Kundalini won't rise higher. You have to be very pleasantly placed towards yourself. I've already told you that you are divine, that you are glorified by your beauty within yourself, but you have to just reach that point. So please be very pleasantly placed yourself. Some people told me we are sinners. I said the ones who have told you are sinners must be the greater sinners. Nobody has business to judge anyone like that and say these things. So please, somehow, try to understand me. I request you again and again that please have no guilt in your mind at all. And the second condition is that you have to forgive everyone. Forgive everyone in general. Now, this is very difficult for some people, I don't know why. But see, logically, whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. What do you do? I don't forgive means do what? What do you do? Nothing. But when you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands and torture yourself. It's a simple logic. So just forgive everyone and don't even think of them. Just say, in general, I forgive everyone. But if you don't forgive, I'll have to work very hard on you. So to make it easier for me also, please forgive from your heart. Please forgive from your heart. Unless and until Kundalini rises and gives you realization, you cannot be cured of physical, mental, emotional and spiritual being. So it's very important that this Kundalini must rise first. And for that, these are two simple, very simple conditions for you. Moreover, be sure that you all are going to get realization. You are seekers, you have come here, it's your right. Sahaja means Sahaja is with, Joy is born. Yoga means the union. So you all have the right to have this spontaneous union with the divine. Absolutely. So be confident about yourself. Don't by any chance condemn yourself. Be very confident, and I'm sure it will all work out. Don't think, you see, the psychologists also tell you your father was like this, mother was like this, or that was like this. Forget all that. They don't know how to help you, so they give you all explanations. Nothing of the kind. You are individual by yourself, and you have to get your realization because you are a seeker. So, we should know that we have two powers, I told you, the left and right. So put your both the feet little away. If you are sitting on the ground, it's all right, but if you are sitting on the chair, please put both the feet apart. Now first we'll show you how you will nourish your centers on the left hand side. Then we'll close our eyes and raise the Kundalini ourselves. You have to put your left hand like this on your lap, very comfortably. Imagine sitting on the chairs, you can get realization. Formerly, anybody who sat like that wouldn't get realization. Now, even if they sit 7 steps, they get realization. So it shows that the divine is so anxious to give you realization. Absolutely, I am myself amazed at its speed. So please put your left hand on your lap. This is signifying, or this is symbolizing that you want your self-realization. Because this is the power of your desire, ordinary desire. So keep this hand all the time on your lap, left hand side. Now the right hand we'll have to use for action, as I told you, for nourishing our different centers. First we'll put our right hand on our heart. In the heart resides the Spirit. Spirit is the reflection of God Almighty. And Kundalini is the reflection of the primordial mother, Adi Shakti, or you can call it the Holy Ghost. Then you take your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen, which is the center for your mastery, created by all the great masters. Then you take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen, on the left hand side. This is the center of pure knowledge. I'll tell you this tomorrow, all about it. This is the center of pure knowledge which manifests on your central nervous system, by which you become empowered with the divine powers. Then again you raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen. We work only on the left hand side. Then on your heart. Then in the corner of your left shoulder and neck, like this, and turn your head to your right as far as possible. This center, as I told you, is spoiled when we feel guilty, and it's quite a lot I can see today here. So please, 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 remember I have told you that you have to forgive yourself completely. Now, please take your right hand on top of your forehead across, like this. And now please try to put down your head on it slowly, resting on this hand, left hand towards me. This is the center for you to forgive everyone. Now take back your right hand, the back side of your head, and push back your head as far as possible, holding it. Here, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, just for your satisfaction, you'll have to ask forgiveness from this all-pervading divine power. Now, stretch your hand, stretch your palm fully stretch it. Put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which is a very soft bone in your childhood. The center of your palm, this is very important, this is the last center. Now push back your fingers as far as possible. Push them back. Now put down your head, just put down your head. Push back your fingers nicely so there is a good pressure on your scalp. Now move your scalp clockwise 7 times. Clockwise slowly 7 times, that's all. Slowly. Push back your fingers. Done. That's all we have to do. Now, if you have anything tight on your neck or on your waist, you can little bit loosen it. Now sit comfortably in the sense that you don't bend too much or bend forward, but be in the center, but be comfortable. Please put your left hand towards me and right hand on your heart. Both the feet apart from each other. Now please ask me a question. In your heart, this is the most fundamental question. Mother, you can call me Mother or you can call me Shri Mataji, whatever you feel like. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times in your heart. If you are the spirit, you are your master, because in the light of the spirit, you know what is right and what is wrong. So please take down your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen and press it hard. So now ask me another question 3 times in your heart. Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own guide? Ask this question 3 times, please. I have already told you that I respect your freedom. And I cannot force pure knowledge on you. You have to ask for it. So now, please take your right hand in the low portion of your abdomen and press it hard on the left hand side. This center has got 6 petals. So you have to ask 6 times in your heart, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. As soon as you ask for pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts rising. So we have to nourish our upper centers with our self-confidence. So now raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it hard. And here, with full confidence, please say 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. This self-confidence opens the centers for the Kundalini to rise. I have told you the fundamental truth about you, that you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not these conditionings, nor you are this ego, but you are the pure spirit. So now raise your right hand onto your heart and ask a question Please say with full confidence 12 times. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Please say with full confidence, which you are. Just you have to say it. This divine power about which I have told you is the ocean of all knowledge, is the ocean of pure love, is the ocean of compassion and bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. And so, whatever mistakes you might commit, this ocean of forgiveness is so powerful, it can dissolve everything. So have confidence in yourself. Now raise your right hand and put it in the corner of your neck and your shoulder on the left hand side. And now turn your head fully to your right. Here you have to say with full confidence 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Say it with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Say it 16 times. I have already told you that whether you forgive or don't forgive, you do not do anything. But if you do not forgive, then you play into wrong hands and you torture yourself, while those who have tortured are quite happy. So this is a myth that you cannot forgive. So don't lose your chance of realization by not forgiving. But don't think of them individually, just in general. You have to say now, raising your right hand on top of your forehead across, and now putting down your head fully. Here, you have to say, again with full confidence, not how many times, but from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Say it from your heart, not how many times. Please say it from your heart. This is very important. Please forgive. Now, please take back your right hand, the back side of your head, and push back your head as far as possible. Please push back as far as possible. Here, without counting your mistakes, without feeling guilty, just for your satisfaction, you have to say again from your heart, not how many times. Please say, O divine power, if I have done any mistake, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Now, please stretch your right hand, stretch your right palm fully, and put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now, put down your head as far as possible. Now, push back your fingers. Here again, I cannot cross over your freedom. I respect it, and I cannot force self-realization on you. You have to ask for it. So now please start moving your hand slowly in such a way that your scalp, put the pressure properly, push back the fingers properly, that the hand starts moving clockwise 7 times, moving the scalp actually with the pressure, saying 7 times, Mother, please give me self-realization. Now, please take down your hands and open your eyes slowly. Put your both hands towards me like this. And don't think you can do it. Just don't think. Now, please put your right hand towards me like this and bend your head and see with the left hand if there is a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area. Please bend your head and see for yourself. Don't put your hand, please, on the head, but away from it. Some people get it very far also. Just try to see if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. Now, put the left hand towards me. And put the head down and see with your right hand if there's a cool breeze coming out of your head. Maybe hot, could be warm, doesn't matter. Just have a look. The heat of the body has to get out. Pay attention. You can move your hand up and down. Sometimes it's also on sides. You might feel it more better. Now, please put your right hand again towards me. This last time, put down your head and see with your left hand now. Now, you have to push back both your hands towards the sky like this and ask a question 3 times. Any one of these questions. Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Mother, is this the cool breeze of the divine love? Mother, is this the Parama Chaitanya or root? Ask any one of these questions 3 times. Push back your hands, push back your head, and ask any one of these questions 3 times. Now take down your hands, please. All those who have felt cool or a hot breeze on their hands or out of their fontanelle bone area, please raise both your hands. Practically the whole of Sydney has got it. May God bless you. I bow to all of you. Now is the beginning of saintliness. But respect your self-realization. It's a collective happening. As you know, we do not take money. We do not have elaborate places for you. But we have very good Sahajogis who can tell you how to go further with it. You are not to pay for anything at all, never. It's a divine law. So please try to develop it, and I'm sure all of you will become great masters very soon, and you will know how to raise others' Kundalini, how to keep yourself in full connection. Hardly it will take few days for you to establish that connection permanently and to enjoy that peace within yourself. Thank you very much. Tomorrow I hope to start it much earlier. We'll come by another road, and then we'll have time to meet you all and to listen to you if there are any problems. Also invite your friends tomorrow to come, because this is a very great chance of many years of seeking. You all should get it. Those who haven't got also should come. They'll get their realization. Those who haven't got it can also see some of the Sahajogis there sitting this side, and they'll help you how to get it. We'll have some music for a while, and I'll be happy if you would like to clap for a while. Will be better. You'll enjoy it much more now once you have got your realization. So enjoy this music.